You know, chickens are the funniest creature on the earth. After all, they make all the yolks. What's going on, YouTube? With the Zeals Zenithar event starting on June 26th, this is a perfect time to talk about all the little things to do during this event. The Zeals Zenithar event easily is in the top 3 best ESO events in my opinion, and it's got great bonuses that can be easily utilized by new players, returning players, and endgame players. So let's talk about what that is. All the information that you may need to know about this event. This information comes from ESO Hub, which I will put in the description below. But we're going to take some time to really talk about all the meat and potatoes of this event. There will be additional events that come out that are specific to some certain things, and we'll talk about that as we go. But this will be a good overview for people who want to know what they should be doing during this event and all the bonuses that are included. And we mentioned that it starts in June 26th and will run for 2 weeks, but here are all the passives that you can expect. A 75% reduction of Way Shrine travel costs. I'll be honest, that one's not super great. 50% repair costs. Still not going to repair my armor. Crafting inspiration gained from all sources is increased by 100%. And vendors across Tamriel are reduced by 10%. Now that's pretty big because that includes the golden vendor, the luxury vendor, the alliance point vendor, the Telvar vendor, and the houses that you can purchase with gold. So these are going to be probably separate videos. It's just going to be an updated how to turn your alliance points into gold video, not specific to the Zeals Zenithar event, but obviously, you know, good time to utilize a video like that. Same with Telvar, same with houses, just because houses are kind of slept on as a resource. They're free Way Shrine travel points. You can use them for storage. You can use them to get the different parts and zones a little easier. So I like houses. You certainly don't need that many of them, but a couple could be helpful. And unfortunately, archival fortunes are not included in this equation. So you will not be able to get a discount on anything that's purchasable with archival fortunes or RIP vouchers, just so there's no confusion. And if you want to get started, you can always head to the ESO Crown Store, pick up the free quest, or you can head to Belkarth, which is inside of Craglorn. You're going to do a little quick, very fast quest, and then you're going to be able to start doing your daily repeatables. And that daily quest is actually relatively straightforward. You might think to yourself, Jake, why do I want to do this repeatable daily quest? Well, you only need to do it once per day, and it's going to give you your event ticket. So if you want to get your 3 event tickets, all you need to do is just do this quest right here. It's super straightforward. All you need to do is gain a level or a champion point, unearth an antiquity or a treasure chest, or spend 10,000 gold. I'll be honest, most players just spend 10,000 gold. You can even buy something and then just resell it. Granted, I don't necessarily recommend doing that. Find something that you need on a new character, use that to stimulate the economy. And then by doing that, you're going to get your golden rewards parcel. I will tell you again, though, that you can obviously get a bunch of rewards parcels, but you do want to get the golden one because it's got the best juice for the squeeze. And there's other ways, obviously, that you can continue to do it, but here they also show off that it's 3 event tickets per day per account. So you can't do it per character. That oftentimes confuses people. 3 event tickets per day from this quest. None of the stuff below will give you the actual event tickets besides that quest. So doing the daily crafting writs, master writs, completing group arenas, defeating world bosses, ledgermen and stuff, that'll all give you additional purple boxes, but not your 3 event tickets to start off the day. So segue, if you want to get some purple boxes to get some other rewards, and rewards don't work, that's the next subject here, you can complete a daily crafting writ. However, this is limited to 1 time per account per day. This used to be one of those events where you could just sit and farm and do daily writs on 1,000 characters. I think that only occurred 1 time before they were like, it's a bit too like the Jubilee event. Everyone's just doing it the same way. You can also complete daily master writs, but I say daily because you can only do once per discipline per account too. So if you do a blacksmithing writ, for a master writ, you can't then do another one on the same day. You could, however, complete multiple rounds of group arenas, namely Dragonstar, Black Rose, and Infinite Archive, while grouped with someone who's in the same guild as you. 50% drop rate on all rounds and 100% drop rate on final rounds. At the Thoat in the Infinite Archive, though, it's 100%, which is the little guy at the end of the rounds. So are any of those arenas necessarily good to farm? I would say if you're really desperate to get the Death Dealer's feat lead, You can certainly farm Dragon Star Arena. It is slow as molasses, but you are at least building towards one of the leads that you need. Black Rose Prison is notoriously good for experience, but generally that's limited to the second round of the first main area. So I wouldn't necessarily encourage you to just try to keep doing that, because you have to actually go through and complete the rounds as opposed to just failing on the second round and respawning, which is the #1 way to farm Black Rose Prison. However, defeating a world boss or an incursion boss is pretty cracked, because it's 100% drop rate. There's no daily limit. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do here. And before we talk about that, I'm also going to point out that below that, there's ledgerment activities like pickpocketing and strong boxes and blah, blah, blah. That stuff all sucks. Every year I think to myself, okay, I'm going to go farm and be a little bit of a thief. And I get nothing. I get no reward boxes. My favorite suggestion will always be dragons. It's just easy. It's straightforward. It's a premium area. There's usually not enough people to where you're not struggling to get hits on the dragon. And it's just a great way to get premium resources of blood, bile, rim. So you get those 3 resources. Southern Elsewhere is better than Northern Elsewhere, easier to navigate, and overall a much better experience. Make sure you get the quest of good bits. If you don't know what that is, just Google it or use the resources below in the description, and that'll make sure you get your rem drop. Also, if you were like, yeah, Jake, I'm a base game player, Alakir Desert. Alakir Desert dolmens are the most farmed dolmens in all of existence. They always say in the lore, oh, you know, Maroon Stagon tried to invade, you know, Murkmire and had to get beaten back. What do you think Malik Ball is experiencing the Alakir Desert? That poor bastard is not having a good time. So if it's actually so bad in the Alakir Desert that you might need to go to Deshaun, because so many people are in the Alakir Desert killing dolmens that you need to go to a separate zone where there's less people farming there. The reason the Alakir Desert is so popular if you're a new player is just because of the rotation of the dolmens and the fact that it's just super close to way shrines. 90% of what determines a good farming route is just how close are things to other things like way shrines. So Deshaun is a good alternative resource for you, and so is this zone right here. It's the Elven starter zone. It's a very good zone to go to. Also very close to the way shrines. Very accessible for new players, and overall, Malik Ball usually gets it in a bad way there. Another good option for you, you just bought the Gold Road, you want to get some utilization out of it, or it's just now an ESO Plus because of Update 46, Westweld. Feel free to farm Miramorum Mosaics, or whatever they're called here. They have a chance to get some rare furnishing drops. They've got easy, quick sellable items for gold, and they're going to be pretty popular to do. That same kind of concept actually goes for High Isle as well as Galen, these 2 little islands over here. They are DLC zones, but if you have ESO Plus, you will have them. Or if you buy the premium version of the content pass, you will also have them. Or if you bought the premium version of any content pass because they're chapters, you'll be able to go to High Isle and you'll be able to go and defeat some volcanic vents. Volcanic vents are also good, quick sellable items. A lot of people love that. Not as many chase items though. So for me, that's why I think dragons are better, because you have quick sellable items. You get rare alchemy ingredients. You're able to use that in super rare potions. And obviously, most people aren't going to use them, but you could sell them for gold, and gold is a pretty good currency to have. So that's what I usually suggest people do for that. However, you also be able to go to places like Bankrai and kill these 3 world bosses here. Somebody told me in my last video that there were 4 world bosses here. It's a triangle, not a square. You kill these 3 world bosses. This is Bankrai. It's base game zone. Now, the world bosses are on a respawn timer that is not quite usually as fast as some of the incursions, but it's usually not as farmed. Another thing that's going to be interesting to see is the portals route, which we'll have more information on, because it's basically Craglorn's version of incursions, but sometimes they count reward boxes and sometimes they don't. So stay tuned for that. I'll do an updated post on if they count. But if they do, the portals route in Craglorn is absolutely cracked. And if you want to test it out for yourself, this is the Craglorn Rift Run, very popular during the Jubilee event. I'll have to wait and see if it specifically will work for this event, but if it does, it's a great way to get reward boxes in a base game zone. Now, so what actually are the rewards? So you'll have a brand new outfit style, which you'll be able to see here in a little bit, where you have some returning old styles. Admittedly, those are not very valuable. If you're like, Jake, what's the difference between a style and a motif? Because I can use both of them to customize my character's appearance. A style page is not used in Master Writs. So it's something essentially that exists outside of the realm of crafting versus motifs, which are the purple drops, which are specific to crafting and things along those lines. So that's the delineation. It puts less FOMO in getting armor styles that are styles, because usually style pages are also temporary farms. So you don't have to stress about getting all of them. However, you will also be able to get crafting materials. Notably, look out for some mundane runes and heartwood. Crafting tempers such as alloys, resins, all your upgrade materials. You're going to love those items. They sell really well, especially the gold ones. Style items for motifs. A lot of people are like, Jake, the style items. Who wants style items? Well, most style items are used to make furniture. So if I'm making furniture from scratch at a blacksmithing station, say I'm trying to build myself some housing items, I need to use style items. Research scrolls are unironically really good to sell too, because a lot of people, especially on console, a lot of new players, it's free on the Game Pass. I think it's free on PlayStation Plus. You're coming in, you want research scrolls, really good to sell. Repair kits, nothing super exciting there. Furnishing and provisioning recipes, some of those are really valuable. Price check the ones that you get, especially the purple ones. Imperial City Vault keys are also decently sellable. I think over time they're getting a little bit less popular, but I hope that they put some more stuff inside of these vault areas, just because I think conceptually vaults are just super cool. Treasure maps, if you get any treasure map that is from a new zone like Necrom or Gold Road, any of those zones, it's probably worth some money. Even High Isle, Galen, those ones have some good value too. So if you have a DLC map, just take a little bit of a peek. Is this a good one? Because even some of the older ones have chances to get really good items as well. I believe Fargrave/Deadlands also is a really valuable one too, just because it has a chance to get some ancestral motifs, which are very valuable because they're only droppable when you actually open a treasure chest, and you have to open it from a map. You can't just find it in the overworld. You also get straight up currency pouches, which has a chance to contain a jackpot amount of currency. I think that's 100,000. I think you can literally get 100k Telvar, which is generational wealth for most people, but I think you might be able to get 100k gold too. So just by doing these, you're rolling for some good items and gear for your companion. These are also very valuable. If you find yourself getting purple gear that is also aligned with what a tank would wear, so like heavy armor with max health or reduced damage, you probably are doing well. So if you or a healing staff with healing traits, light armor, stuff like that usually sells pretty well, but you're going to want to price check that to see what you'd get. And then here are the styles. This style looks pretty good. If you're ever curious, always sell the item at the beginning of the event. The style of the newest set is going to be the most valuable at the beginning of the event, and it will slowly peter off as people get it. Then we have the Impresario. She's going to have our stuff that you can buy with your event tickets. Honestly, nothing here is really like, super great. Like, yes, you can get this robe, but like, is that really worth the squeeze? You'll have Phyllis. He's the assistant. He will have some items as well, but they're just the old kind of stuff that we've seen before. I think this is from like 2-3 years ago at this point. Indriks, you will do an updated Indrik vendor video if you have any questions about it, but basically you'll be able to get the Nascent Indrik, Ice Breath Indrik, and then obviously the Luminous Indrik. And you'll be able to get the Rime Dusk Indrik and the Shimmering Indrik. And then here are some previous stuff that still drops from reward boxes. We have this style right here, which I actually think looks pretty cool. This one, which is a little bit generic, gives me some Oblivion vibes. This, like that backpack alone. Do you guys see this backpack? That is actually adorable. Some weapons that ain't nobody using these weapons. Just a bit too. This looks like a crab claw. Like who wants a staff that has a crab claw as the portion that's on the top of it? But that is the Zeals of Zenithar. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Jake, what exactly do I do during this event? Well, it's very straightforward. You just farm literally the things that we talked about. My number one suggestion, if you have it, is go to Southern Elsewhere, complete the quests, get the good bits done, which is just basically a, hey, I've completed so many daily quests and I unlocked a side quest mission. That'll give you an extra drop to just killing dragons in any zone, including Northern Elsewhere. Do that. That's the best thing to do. And you have time, too, to go get the quest, the good bits as well. Other things that you can do that are a bit, that we talked about. Westweld, super easy to farm the stuff there. both the volcanic vents in Galen and High Isle, even if you wanted to go to Somerset to farm Powdered Mother of Pearl. But I'll be honest with you, if you go to Somerset, Powdered Mother of Pearl ain't what it used to be. Clamgall ain't what it used to be. Everybody was farming this event during the Jubilee event to get to farming geysers that I just generally don't recommend that anybody go and farm geysers anymore. Other places, again, we talked about Bankerai, the World Boss Trio. Also, too, just make sure you're grouped up with a guild member. Super easy to join guilds, ladies and gentlemen. All you need to do is go to Guild Finder. Go to any type of guild. If you're brand new to the game, go to a social guild. You can see active members, 360, 488, 353, 446, 483, 496. Just join any of these guilds. Apply to multiple. You can be in 5 total guilds. So you're not cheating on your friends that you made a guild bank, guild with. You'll want to be in as many guilds as possible so you can get as many bonuses as possible for being in guilds. You can also join trading guilds if you're ready to start selling items, because as you do that daily quest, you're going to want to be probably the most easy, fastest way is just walk over, spend 10k gold. It's so easy to spend 10k gold. If you're like, I'm building a PvP character, just take some time, go buy 2, tempering alloys, or, 3 waxes, or 2.5 rosins. Go buy some of those items and you'll be hunky-dory. You'll be insta quest done, and you get a nice little gold parcel box here in addition to your 3 event tickets. Some things that we'll be talking about as we go along from the channel's perspective. We'll talk about which houses to purchase, how to turn your AP to gold, how to turn your Telvar to gold, all those other little nitty-gritty things that are kind of like adjacently relevant to this event. But also, don't forget, too, that you can continue to get additional crafting inspiration from all sources. So if you're a brand new player, use this, deconstruct, craft items, do some daily crafting writs, level up your crafting. You need at least 1 maxed crafter. Most games you don't need to be a crafter on. You could just be completely oblivious to the world of crafting. In ESO, I highly recommend you have 1 maxed out character. He can be basically your HM slave, like in Pokemon. It could be your Bidoof character, where all they know, all their skill points are into crafting. You want to have at least 1 craftable character, because say you farm some really annoying endgame trial, you get the best piece of gear imaginable and it's in the wrong trait. Well, you could transmute that trait, from the bad one into the good one, but you have to have the good trait researched, which means you have to be a crafter, at least a little bit. So become a little bit of a crafter, a little bit of a side gig, a little bit of a passion hustle. And as always, thank you guys so much again for watching. And so everyone, thank you guys so much again for watching. As always, we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings, but I do just want to also quickly tell you that we're going to continue to do more stuff on the Zeals Zenithar. But if you have suggestions, if you're like, Jake, can you break down dragons a little bit more for me? Like, why do I want to be a dragon slayer? Put it in the comments below. If there's traction, if people want to know something, I'll make a video on it. It's my side gig, literally. After work, that's what I come on here and I do for you guys. So no problem at all. So the 3 giveaway drawings, though, as you'll notice, a hidden word on every single video for the month of June. If you're the first person to find and comment that word, you will actually win a premium content pass. Second thing you can do to enter our giveaway drawings is just be subscribed. We're on the road to 32,000 subscribers. And the third thing is just leave a like and a comment on the video. So thank you guys one last time. Have a fantastic Saturday, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.